Hi guys, I'm Shmi. I'm currently driving the BMW M4 Convertible. It's a gorgeous evening here in Los Angeles, but after a little bit of driving with the car, I wanted to let you know some of my sort of first impressions and thoughts of it. So not a full technical overview, we're not at a track or anything silly, just what I've experienced and how the car seems to me at my sort of first early stages of driving it. So obviously the M4, we've got the twin turbo straight six, 425 brake horsepower. The disadvantage of the Convertible over the coupe is that it's 200 kilos heavier to have this solid steel roof. So the coupe has a carbon fibre roof, this has the steel roof, and all the mechanism and sort of additional strengthening required for the car to make it possible to do this. The plus side of that though, of course, is you've got the Convertible. So I've got the roof up right now so it's easier for you to hear me. If we had the roof down, it would be a very, very nice little cruiser. So initially the thing I like the most about the drive is how you seem to have sort of almost instant power as soon as you try to go. Whatever gear you're in, you just put your foot down and it pulls away very, very nicely. It's incredibly comfortable, you know, we've got a really, really nice steering feel, very well padded seats, very good driving position, amazing visibility. That's something that I noticed that I wasn't sort of expecting. I can see very well, which given you've got a hard top is pretty impressive really. That roof, just while I'm thinking about it, it takes 20 seconds to fold away. You can do it up to 8 miles an hour, so it's not the worst thing in the world, you know, just as you're coming to a stop or parking or something like that. And you can also do it from the key, so as you're walking to or from the car, you've got no problems. Lots of creature comforts, things like a head-up display, this wonderful navigation system, massive screen, that all makes driving pretty good. You can enter, you can even write on here to enter in where you're going. So it's a pretty, overall, very good car day-to-day driving. And that's before we start talking about the various sort of settings and controls and options and things we've got, because in this car, there are lots of them. You can independently control the sort of gearbox settings, suspension, steering wheel, driving response, the whole sort of feel of everything to do with this car, depending what you're doing. So, you know, here we're on some slightly more interesting road. I guess I'm in downtown LA, so it's not the most exciting in the world, but we could press these buttons and you stiffen up the suspension a bit through Comfort, Sport, Sport Plus. Don't know if you can tell on the camera, but that bump immediately noticeably more violent there, so perfect for the track. I'm quite impressed by the degree to which it can vary depending which setting you're in. Unfortunately, I've just hit traffic. Seems to be the way in LA. You can't really avoid it. Steering feel, I haven't had much opportunity to play with that. You can tell that it changes the feel slightly. But this one, driving dynamic response, efficient Sport Plus, this changes, I suppose, how soon it shifts up through the gears, the feel of the shift when it does shift, and also a little bit to do with the noise it makes, or certainly the noise that you hear inside the cabin. So I would pretty much always have that on the Sport Plus mode because I quite like that. But then I might be driving on the paddles anyway because they're quite a nice feel to them. Sort of metal backed, nicely positioned with the wheel, and that overall works pretty well. I mean, thinking of the wheel handling, unsurprisingly, BMW, it's really, really good. So it goes through the twisties incredibly well. I actually think I might just try and turn around here because I'm not one for sitting in a traffic jam at all. So this is going to be an interesting test actually of can I swizzle the car around in this little space I've got available to me here. We've got the camera system, and you can get an all-round car camera system as well, which is quite nice. I don't know if you can quite see this, but we've got some nice guidelines that just sort of guide me back a little. I've chosen the worst possible place to do this. Oh, okay. That was me being a little bit silly because I'm used to driving a Jaguar F-Type where you pull it back to go into gear, and in here that's not the case. But an interesting test, you know, real world, I guess. This is what we're doing. And then over to the right to go back into drive. Also hill hold, that's quite nice given that I'm doing this on a hill. You hear a little bit of the grumble of the engine sound as we do that. I'll head back the way I came because I know there's no traffic if I go that way. There we go, a little bit of sound out of it. So the straight six noise, let me see if I can open it up a little bit here. It's hard to describe, but it's really quite fun to drive this thing. You get a lot of feedback from the car and just all-round involvement in the experience. I don't know if I'm quite making sense, but it's somebody not going when it was his priority. Standard. But, it feels really quite quick too. It feels really quite quick. That's pretty nice. I just think it's the M4. You know, there's no question it's a success because it is an absolutely brilliant car compared to sort of the previous model. I've driven the E92 M3 before, and to me this just feels leaps and bounds on in terms of the overall sort of feel of the car and how you get along with it. But yeah, I'm just trying to think, what else can I tell you? So we've got this button that just directly changes the gear shift settings, cycles through, and then with all of this configuration you actually have on the steering wheel M1 and M2, which you can pre-configure to your own sort of complete setup, going all the way through those settings. So I like how you can literally set up a whole ton of different things exactly how you want, so you can tailor the car. Because, for example, me living in London, I want the car to have a sporty gearbox setting and that kind of thing, but I don't want to have horrible suspension because I'm always going to be hitting bumps. So you want that kind of softened down, and you can configure that exactly how you want to a degree that not many other cars let you do, which is something quite special. This particular car has ceramic brakes, so if I put my foot on the anchors, it does it pretty quickly. So that's good. Oh, I've succeeded in finding more traffic, even though there wasn't traffic here a few minutes ago. That seems to be my overall experience of Los Angeles. Cars, and a few more cars. But no, I have to say, pretty impressed with my little drive in the M4. Shown you a little bit about it in some other videos as well, so make sure you check those out. But hopefully I get some more time to spend in this car, because I'd like to get to experience it somewhere where I can open it up a little bit more and give it a proper go. But sort of as a normal person trying to drive this car, there is no question it ticks a lot of the boxes. The only thing would be if you were wanting something that sounded a little bit more sporty, where the competitors, I suppose, might tick that box a little bit better. But from a driving perspective, it's quick. 0 to 62, 4.6 seconds, top speed 150 miles per hour, limited of course, and it will do that in a very nice real world, A to B, get there, enjoy it very well with a big smile on your face, and you will enjoy it. So yeah, hope you've enjoyed my first thoughts of the BMW M4. Make sure you're subscribed, check out those other videos talking a bit more about the outside of the car, showing the roof, showing that kind of stuff, and talking more through those settings and the nav system and exactly what you can see. But that's it for now. I'll catch up with you again very soon. Cheers! And also the Porsche 918 Spider. Key in, turn it on. You're immediately in E mode.